Faith, sit. Sit. Hello, my name is Kevin, and I am sitting here with my soon-to-be certified service dog, Faith. And we are inside my brand new 2022 Jayco J-Feather 171BH. BH means bunkhouse. So, quick backstory. I am a 100% disabled veteran. I was a police officer, specifically working at the Veterans Affairs. Had been hired by state police. Had to resign due to injury, which was very hard for me to do because that was my dream job. And then, yes, hi, we see you. Hi, thank you. Then I got hired by another local agency and ended up actually failing the psych eval and had to be honest with myself and say, you know what, that was probably right. If I stay in law enforcement, things are going to get worse. So I made the decision to resign completely and kind of just live off of my my disability. And I had been planning for quite a while to do some full-time RVing and traveling. I have Faith now, and I have two cats, Jazz and Bella. Jazz is old and grumpy, and Bella is young and full of energy. So I needed something that would accommodate all four of us. I found on Facebook a very nice 2019 KZ Connect, beautiful trailer. But all total, it was just under 30 feet, which was a little bit too big for me. So originally I had been looking at camper vans and said, you know what, I need something bigger. I was looking at Class C's, but they were really expensive. And I said, you know what, I've already got the pickup truck. Let's just go with a travel trailer. So I grabbed that KZ Connect, took it out one weekend, and realized for what I want to do with the more off-grid, more, remote areas I got to reach, that trailer was too big. So I sold that about a week after I bought it. Was fortunate enough to be able to get my money back. And then went and bought this Jayco. And stepped inside, looked great on the lot, thought it was beautiful. Had everything I needed, had a bunkhouse so I can use some of the bunks for storage. Faith, stop eating a screw. So just a quick caveat, I'm not one of those video editors like you see all these other YouTubers. I'm not even a YouTuber. I just decided to start doing this, something to do with my time. So I'm not really going to edit a whole lot, unless I step out of the frame for like 10 minutes or something. Anyway, so it has solar built in, just one 190 watt panel. Almost everything is 12 volt. And to keep things simple, basically that means that pretty much everything in here is running off of the battery, the 12 volt battery, with no inverter, with the exception of the AC and heat. So even this TV here is 12 volt. And so long as I'm in direct sun, my fridge, my freezer, my TV, my lights have been working nonstop. So that's actually been pretty nice. There's expansion on the roof rack to add more solar, and a port on the side to add more solar, which I would have intended to do if I end up keeping this. So that's where we get into the crux of things. And the main reason I wanted to make this video is kind of give people a warning, a heads up, about dealing with RV dealerships, in my case specifically Mount Clements General RV, and Jayco as the manufacturer. So this trailer has ended up having a myriad of issues, some of which were identified during the walkthrough that General RV does. So you can say, hey, this is not right, and they fix it after they did the prep, which cost $2,200 to prep it for you to take it off the lot and leave to go camping. So they apparently take some machine, put it inside, do a pressure test, see if there's air leaking out anywhere, if there's leaks on the roof. They're supposed to test everything. I do not believe they did. There are just so many issues that I have found, and I will start getting into those in a minute here. But basically, once I bought it, they pretty much handed off and said, oh, well, you know what? It's under warranty, so schedule service, bring it in. And I said, okay, that's fine. I understand that. But I paid you guys $2,200 for this prep, and nothing's working right. Or, sorry, I shouldn't say nothing's working right. There's just a lot of things that are not right on a brand new unit, especially some things that should have been caught during your prep. So some of the big ones that should have been caught were the stairs leading into the RV. And I'll walk around and show everything. They are bent. I pointed out to the guy that they look bent. And he said, oh, no, they're supposed to be like that. I just didn't extend this leg all the way. And I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, I'm a trustworthy guy. I believe you. Well, the door itself also has issues closing. And he said, oh, that'll just work itself out after a while. And when I called the scheduled service, the lady that I was dealing with, she said the same thing. She's like, well, just take it out another weekend. Most of the kinks work themselves out. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but bent stairs that aren't supposed to be bent, that I was told were supposed to be that way, don't work themselves out. The drawer under the fridge fell apart. Now, granted, this is touted as a off-grid, more rugged unit. And going down the highway with just a couple pots and pans in the drawer shouldn't fall apart. I have found out through forums that the piping under the bathroom sink continually comes disconnected. People just say, oh yeah, we just, every time we park it and going to use it, we just check it to make sure it's connected. One, I shouldn't have to do that. And two, on a brand new unit, things shouldn't be breaking like that. The shower doesn't close all the way. At the bottom, there's about an inch gap. They didn't clean it properly when they released it to me. They said, I even pointed it out, and he said, oh yeah, I'll have her clean it before you go. And after spending an hour plus in the finance office, I was just ready to go. I didn't get back inside the trailer and check to make sure she had re-cleaned things that were missed. There are just scratches and dents and stuff all over the place. When I lifted up this mattress, there was about 7 or 8 loose screws. Are they important? Do they go to something? I don't know. So I don't know what they're checking, or if somebody did lift up the mattress to make sure that the, plywood underneath is intact, or, the mattress is okay, or whatever it is that they should be checking. Because when they said they prepped top to bottom. I would assume that got checked. They lifted it up to make sure that, somebody hadn't thrown some trash under there while they were doing, checking out the unit on the lot, or, whatever. But even if they did look, they decided that leaving a bunch of loose screws, under a mattress, that can get punctured and torn, that was a good idea. So my thought is they didn't even check that. Underneath me, there are 2 totes, and there is a strap that helps to keep them in place. So when you stop, they don't slide out from under the bed and get all over the place. Well, on the first use, I pulled it, and the screw pulled the wall out. And I was like, okay, well, that's not good, but at least, it's still kind of attached, but the wall's coming apart. So I took the next time, and I carefully tried to tighten it, and then the screw just came out. So now that strap's broken. Under one of the bench seats, there is the wood framing is coming apart. In the front corner, it doesn't look like it was sealed properly. And on the roof, there is a pretty bad soft spot, which I'm pretty disappointed about. That's brand new. I stepped there and I heard all this cracking as soon as I stepped in one spot. Mind you, I'm not jumping. I'm not running across it. I'm not bouncing up and down. I literally got up the ladder, took a step, and heard this crunching. And now it, goes up and down quite a bit. There's a hole in the screen over here. The bunkhouse, the bottom mattress, I was curious, what material they use for these mattresses. I unzipped it, took a look, zipped it back up, the zipper broke. So I am very disappointed, first off in General RV, because they, from the very beginning, the saleswoman that I dealt with was very, blunt, straightforward, which I appreciated, but she told me Jayco is at the top of quality. And I said, a lot of people have been saying these RVs have been being rushed through production because of the mass increase in demand recently. And there are just so many quality issues, and people are losing time camping because they have to keep bringing them in for warranty work. And she said, no, Jayco's never done that. They always keep everything, top shape. And then when we were dealing with paperwork, she made some statements and said the words out the door price, gave me this price, which was the sale price, had all these numbers written down. And she said, but your out the door price is this, $26,000 or whatever it was. And I said, okay. So I go to finance, and all of a sudden there's this prep fee, this dealer fee, all this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. That's not what she said. So she says, hey, I'm just the finance person. Let me get the manager. Manager comes in, and he flat out just basically called me a liar. He's like, well, no, she's been here for, 20 some odd years. She would never say something like that. There's no way she told you that. And I was like, you know what? That might be true. She also said she's trying to hurry. I got here at the end of the day. Maybe she misspoke. We're human. It happens. Or maybe the way she phrased it, I didn't understand it. And to me, it sounded like out the door price. To me, that means all total is this. So I took that as him calling me a liar. And I almost walked out right there. But I was like, hey, you know what? Tell me my value in this prep fee. What am I getting in this $2,200 I'm paying you guys for this brand new unit? And he gives me this big story about how General RV has a, Faith, hey, leave it. Has this plant that they built, this facility they built to pre-test the units before they get up to the dealerships to find all these flaws. And then they test it all again before I take it off the lot. And I said, okay, well, that sounds good. Where else am I getting my value? It's a brand new unit. I would hope there's not a whole lot wrong. He's like, well, we walk you through it. We show you how to work everything. I'm like, okay, well, there's a half an hour worth of, of somebody's hourly wage, to walk me through. And, he kind of bullshitted a few other reasons why it's worth $2,200. And I said, you know what? I don't think that's the right value. He said, hey, I can't bring it down anymore. I've already given you half off on a hitch that you need to help you out as a veteran. But I can't do anything else. That's a fee that comes out of sales we got to pay to the service department. I said, hey, I understand that. I just hope that I get my money's worth. When I called the corporate office to make a complaint about this, nobody ever called me back. I sent to their customer care. Their customer care says, oh, we're corporate. We can't give any refunds or we can't do anything for you. And we see you already have a service lined up. I'm like, yeah, I do. I have an appointment lined up. But that means I got to drop off my trailer. I'm without it for a while. And I've already paid you guys, and I'm bringing it back in for things that should have been caught already. And nobody's going to refund the money. $2,200, that was, 10% of the cost of the trailer right there. Added on to the total cost, I should say. So I've got this appointment scheduled. Jayco actually called me because they sent a customer service, or a customer survey as a new purchaser, and I gave it all basically 0 stars. And they called, and I explained all the issues I've had. They said, oh, we stand behind our warranty. And I'm like, look, here's the thing. Things are falling apart driving down the road on what's supposed to be an off-road unit for the most part. And the underbelly is completely sealed. It's supposed to be a 4-season trailer. So I'm like, how can I trust the stuff underneath that's important? All the plumbing, all the heating, all that stuff is staying in one piece when nothing inside is staying in one piece. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. We stand behind our warranty. I'm like, again, I can't see down there to know if it needs to be fixed under warranty before I have something catastrophic happen. And I'm like, so at what point do we get to, you guys just buy this trailer back? Because General RV said, we're not going to buy it back from you. We're not going to refund anything. The only way you can do something like that is through the manufacturer. And she said, well, that's correct, but we're not at that point. And I said, well, I'm frustrated enough. I'm at that point. And her reply was something along the lines of, well, we're still not there yet. Just take it in for service and we'll go from there. So this went a lot longer than I wanted. I doubt anyone would just watch this whole thing, but I just wanted to get it on video, put it up somewhere, get my frustrations out, and show some of the flaws in what should be a new unit and the frustrations with a dealership. Don't go to a dealership. They charge you more than they should already. They add a bunch of fees on top of it. which I knew ahead of time, but when I bought vehicles from a dealership before, they waived the prep fee and the freight fee because I said, I'm not paying that. You already got it here. You know, I'll pay a freight fee if I ask a specific unit to be shipped. I told General RV that. I said, why am I paying a freight fee? It's already here. They're like, well, we had to ship it here. You're right, you did. In order for me to buy it, it had to be here. I was like, you know, if it was at your Florida store or your Utah store and it was the only model, it was the only one I wanted, and I said, yep, bring it here. He said, okay, I'll be a $1,500 freight fee for a truck to drive it out here. I can understand that. So don't go to General RV. Their customer service is shit. I did not appreciate the way I was treated. They are not willing to work with you when things are wrong. The service department is so backed up. So even if you have an issue, so long as it's not something that you can't, like, you know, like if the wheels fell off, obviously I can't camp with it. They're not going to get to it right away. I asked her, I was like, well, you want me to bring it in on the 4th? And then 3 or 4 days later, I actually have a trip planned already. I'm like, so I don't want to wait again. She goes, well, you can bring it in, and what we do is we put it in line. So basically what that means is it gets in line, and then, you know, it moves up until our technicians get to it. So if on Friday you want to come pick it up, and then bring it back Monday, that's fine. And we'll just move it in line, and you'll get put back in your spot in line. So yeah, so I've been very disappointed with General RV, very disappointed with their sales, very disappointed with their service. We'll see how the service goes when I take it in next week, how quickly they do it. Jayco told me if they say that parts are on back order or whatever it is, to let them know, and they will help expedite. But, you know, that's just words. You know, words have meaning, but actions speak louder. So that being said, I think that's all my frustrations with this thing in words. So I'll start from the top, kind of make a little video, show you all these things I've been talking about that aren't right, and we'll just go from there. All right. Hello from my roof. This is the rooftop with that extra storage rack already on there, so you can put another solar panel or two up here. I've seen a few people do it. 190 watt solar already in and wired. And as you can see, the roof is one of those newer rubber roofs where it's supposed to be more one piece, so it doesn't leak, so you don't have all these seams on the top and on the edges. However, mind you, the seams are still there. They're just under the rubber. So you can see the seam there. If I step on it, yeah, pretty solid, right? This is supposed to be a fully walkable roof. From what the sales lady told me, these are supposed to be designed to work up in Alaska with heavy snowfall and all that weight plus you walking on it, and it should hold up. Those were her words. So, like I mentioned earlier, it came up this ladder the first time, and I stepped in this spot right here and heard a bunch of crunchy noise. And ever since, you saw how, you know, this is pretty solid. A little bit of give. It's, you know, supposed to have give. It's not a steel roof. You know, it's wood. But over here, barely step on it, you can see that crease, right? I'm barely putting any pressure on here. If I step on it, this entire thing goes down. It's squeaking. And look at that seam underneath. This is barely putting any pressure on it. I am scared to stand on this and put any weight here because I'm not a slight man. I am about 215 right now. So if I were to put my full weight on that, my concern is I am going to fall through on a brand new unit. Oh, also, General RV's, you know, cleaning and prep. This entire roof was like brown and green, just nasty. There was, up in all the sealant, there was stuff like growing that I had to use a, you know, scrub brush and get out. Excuse me while I set you down for a minute, folks. Now, they always, tell you that it's pre-wired. If it says pre-wired for solar, probably doesn't have a solar panel. This one did, which was nice. They come with it. But it's also pre-wired for your backup camera by Furrion. Furrion, if you know anything about RVs, they're all over the place. Well, I think Furrion got smart, and whatever their proprietary cord is, companies, off-brands were making these pigtails to connect it. Yeah, they're not working. So you have to buy Furrion's camera, and you can also buy them for these side mounts, which I thought would have been great. Really help with, especially in thicker wooded areas, make sure you're not backing into anything. These brush guards here helping protect the RV, but at least, you got a camera, help you see. So, issue number 2 I mentioned is this corner here. No, I did not hit anything. Yes, it came like this. This to me does not look fully sealed, because I can see right in through here into this metal. This is, I don't know what all this crap is, but apparently that was missed during the inspection. Not something you catch with your eye during your walkthrough because you're worried about so much. Here's the other side. Big difference. This one's actually pretty much completely sealed. These batteries, the solar works off of any of these 12-volt batteries, but the solar charger needs specific settings, for lithium, AGM, and wet batteries, etc. Well, these are wet batteries. When I asked what type of batteries they were, I said, are they lithium? Are they what? And he's like, yeah. I was like, no, what are they? He goes, well, they're whatever, they're what you said that works with solar. So I'm thinking, all right, they put some nice batteries in it, because that's also part of the prep fee. They buy the batteries. The manufacturer doesn't send the batteries. No, they are wet batteries, which are probably the worst ones to use with solar, because you have to continually maintain them. And also they had the solar charger set on the wrong charge, so that can actually damage the batteries as well. So this is where this is bent. I know it's hard to tell, hard to see, but it's bent. Basically, it looks like somebody left it down when they were moving it, backed it up, and they bent it up. This side you can tell is straighter. It's just a slight bend. It got a little bent. But when I mentioned it during the walkthrough, I was looking down, and it was definitely crooked. It's hard to tell it's crooked because, how we're standing. But yeah, it's bent. Then we moved on to the door, and the guy closes the door and goes like that. He's like, huh. So, this is me pulling as hard as I can, not latching, right? Let me show you how hard you have to slam it, which is great in campgrounds when people are trying to sleep if it's late and you're right on top of each other. That is the only way. Oh, look it didn't even work that time. So I don't know why. Yeah, wonderful quality. So then we had this strap here. So this side is still on. That's the strap for it. And it had straps on this side, but when I pulled it, it pulled this wood panel off. And then the second time I tried to use it gently, it just pulled the screw straight out. Inside here is where this wood frame is coming apart. And now some of these might seem nitpicky and little, but you know what? When you buy a brand new unit, you kind of expect it to be really nice, but it's not focusing. Like I said, I have a cheap off-brand phone. I'm not spending a bunch of money because I'm on a fixed income. There's the hole in the screen that was there when I got it. There was a whole bunch of goop along here, some like clay stuff that I cleaned off. This is like wood of some sort, won't come off. That is already peeling. This is what I'm talking about. See how it's set on wet, if it'll focus, Yeah, it wasn't set on wet. It was set on the incorrect battery type. And I had to do research and take apart the battery and find out which type it was. This is the drawer under the fridge, which, not a very good drawer, huh? There's the actual bottom piece. That's how it fell out while driving, with pots and pans in there. So when it did fall out, I couldn't even open it. I forgot to mention my first part. The cover for the furnace had one screw in it, I found out. And then recently, on my way back from the last trip, the other screw fell out. Or the only screw that was in there, that one fell out. So that is the furnace vent cover, just sitting on the ground there. Another thing I noticed today while I was out here doing some stuff, this faucet does not stop dripping. So that's fun. Here are, focus, more of those marks. I noticed these while I was laying down in the bed. All these marks, like, are from a nail gun or something, that they decided, just to leave like that. To keep things nice, I bought this plexiglass, though. Put plexiglass on the sides there around the stove. That way oils and hot stuff that splash don't, ruin the finish. Put that all on before I noticed how much was wrong with this entire thing. So, moving into the bathroom. This is the P-trap under the sink after every trip. So you can put it back together, you can tighten that down, but when you get to your destination, it's like that again. So whatever this design is and how loose this is horrible. And a lot of people in forums have said, well, just build something underneath. And like, one, that takes up space, that I want to store things under there. And two, here's another issue. Why do I have to take my time, my money, and put in work to fix something that should have been identified? So the bottom of this prefabricated shower has come off. You can feel behind it. I don't know if this will see it. There's a glue up there that's supposed to hold this together. And my concern is that water, steam, whatnot, are going to continue to permeate up through there, and cause, this to peel off more, cause damage to the walls. You can see up here where it's not fit right. And then here is, when you go to close the door, there's that gap at the bottom. So, and also good luck half the time getting this thing to close and stick. Did that time. But it does not want to all the time. You try to close it inside or out, and it just keeps sliding. So I'm sure there are more things. Oh, the other big thing I found. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not, but the air conditioner. To me, it feels like the air conditioning on its coldest setting feels the exact same as the fan. Maybe I'm crazy. I know I am medically, but in terms of how that feels, I don't know. It just doesn't feel as cold as it should. But we'll take one nice little pan around. I do really like the layout of this unit. It's got, for me, and I took the dog and the cats out on one trip, it's got plenty of room, plenty of storage. Nice area. There's a attachable grill outside. That folds down. I can make another bed if I got somebody visiting. It's not a bad unit in terms of design and functionality, but in terms of build quality and customer service that I have received from pretty much everybody from start to finish, has been non-existent. Customer service, I don't know. I'm not that old, but I feel it used to be a lot better. Those are charcoal bags. Since, a lot of people had fires going, there's that nice campy, smoky smell in here. What was I saying? Yes, customer service. I feel like it's just non-existent anymore. you know, basically like, oh, we got your money, and it's easier for us to keep saying no, and there really is no course of action, no ramifications for us, and the course of action for you is almost impossible to figure out on, you know, how to get things taken care of. Another chip missing. I know there's a few more. Oh, that corner there. All this is already like delaminating and cracking. Yeah, so that is Kevin's tour of what is wrong. I know a lot of it's small and nitpicky, and I could live with it had I not been pretty much blown off by everybody and told basically, oh, too bad, so sad. I want to keep traveling. I want to get out of here as soon as Faith is fully certified, which should be another 7 to 10 weeks, give or take. So hopefully before the weather gets too cold and too bad, I can get out of here somewhere warm. But I don't know if I want to do it in this unit, and I don't want to get stuck in this unit if I'm unhappy with it. And I don't want to lose, you know, $10,000 between depreciation and all the fees I had to pay. But it's looking like that might happen. So we'll see what happens on Tuesday when I drop it off, what they say. I will give an update after that. I don't know who's watched this entire thing because I have no special effects, no fading, all the other fun stuff everyone does. I just have a straight up blunt, shaky camera held in my hand, honest review and input. Don't filter my thoughts. I give myself permission, something I learned in therapy, to say and do what I feel is appropriate at the time, which has helped me immensely. So just remember, if you need a minute to yourself, just give yourself permission. It's okay to walk away. Yeah, so 2022 Jayco J Feather 171 bunkhouse. Brand new, off the lot, tons of issues in my mind, and bad service that I've gotten from General RV as a whole, General RV Mount Clements. We'll see how their service department does. So far, less than impressed. And Jayco, understandably, they have their processes. You got to start off bringing it in for service and warranty because that's their business. They make money. They're not just going to give things away or take it back. But once it comes in with all these issues, somehow I doubt it's expensive enough for them not to warranty it and just fix it. But we'll see. I'm going to keep fighting it and see how it goes. Real quick edit on the end here. Yeah. I thought maybe I had the deadbolt in the right way. I guess not. I don't know how I unlocked and opened the door with the deadbolt, because I unlocked it and walked in. Apparently I locked it and somehow opened the door. So that's another issue if you can open the door with it. But yeah, so there's the deadbolt actually not engaged. But as you can see, you still got to slam the door to close it. But at least this time it stays shut.